Welcome to the Man United show. We are live. And let's start off by the news that Amid Diallo is off to Rangers on loan. I'm joined by my co-host, Nathan, who's just sorting out his ears. And, of course, our special guest. Well, it's becoming a regular now. Garth. How you doing, Garth?
Good, thanks, mate. Yourself?
I'm good. And just in time, my co-host, Nathan. How you doing, Nathan?
All good.
Good.
Waiting for the matches to come back. Come on.
Yeah, and we all. But it's only just started. I think it's 18 days, is it? I know you guys have got a bit sooner because you've got Middlesbrough in the FA Cup, haven't you?
Yeah. Next weekend, isn't it?
Yes. We're starting off the news with Amid Diallo is off to Rangers on loan. What's your thoughts on that, Nathan?
Him going off to Rangers, lovely, jubbly. I want to see him do well. We know what he's about. I'm excited about the kid. So for him to go and get first team minutes there, it's a nice place. I guess it's obviously to be one of the best team in Scotland, and and to be playing there, it's just good. It's a great place to go. Great option, better than going like Championship or anything for me. Just play against men for a bit longer.
He gets to play in Europe as well.
Yeah, it's just a perfect move for him. Perfect loan move for him. I'm happy that it's loan, of course. I just want to see him come back and be ready to play and show the manager, listen, I can play too. I can play. I can pop it. Let's pop. So yeah, very, very happy about that.
All right. And Garth, what's your thoughts on the loan for Diallo?
Yeah, exactly the same. If we're not going to play him this season, which it looks like Elanga's come in and taken that youth spot, if you call it, you know what I mean, all day. Rangers, great move for him, I think. Especially as long as he gets minutes, like Nathan, playing against men in a tough league. Yeah, I couldn't think of a better move for him, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nathan, you've got a couple of players that are out on loan currently. I mean, we mentioned it on the Transfer Exchange show the other day. What's the benefit of going loan against the benefits that you'd have if you was to keep the player in the squad, training with you and your first team and playing under 23s?
Well, the thing is, the benefits is playing competitive football, 90 minutes of competitive football against men. That's what you want for younger players. They need to go through that stage anyway to be able to show that they can mix it with men. That's the main thing. Once you can get past that stage, the manager will then look at you more like, right, he can be an option for me on a Saturday or a Tuesday. So that's definitely the benefits. And obviously you don't want to sell them because you want to get them back once they've got their, they've earned their stripes, as you should say. Mm-hmm. And then once that's the case, it's lovely. You come back and you're better for it, experience-wise, minutes-wise. It's just a win-win situation, really. So yeah.
It's hopefully we get to see Diallo a lot more regularly, and I think he should be able to smash it up in the Scottish League. We've got plenty to talk about today. We're going to ask whether Ralf Rangnick is getting backed in the transfer market. What is he there for if he's not to set the structure for Man United going forward? We're going to be talking about Boubacar Kamara, potential signing for Man United of £10 million. They're speaking. They're in advanced talks at the moment. And I've stitched the guys up a little bit with one question that I will be hitting them up with later off on the spot. First of all, is Ralf Rangnick getting backed? Nathan, he was brought in to set a structure to see what Man United needed going forward. We've heard a couple of links previously, Hedera being one of them, some other links, Zagadou from Borussia Dortmund. But does it feel like he's getting backed, whether it's in the transfer market or it's with his ideas going forward?
You know what it is to me? I don't pay much attention to all this stuff until something concrete comes out of it. Because I don't know if he's backed or if he's not backed. The reality is there's no player on Sky Sports, we're talking to. Like, it doesn't say we're talking to anyone. So although it might be, I'm not even interested until I hear it. Because there's so many names that get thrown in the bag. Mm-hmm. It's not worth the time, wasting time just going, that player might be, that player, and then none of it's true. Like, whatever's true will come out. And then we'll know, he's going to be coming. Then we can say, right, perfect. This player is good. But in terms of getting backed, he will get backed. At the end of the day, we've got too many players right now. We can't keep buying more players and have more on. You just can't keep buying. We've got too many and too much wage bill. Wage bill needs to be slashed. Players need to be gone. Lingard, them boys need to move on if they're going to move on, or get things sorted out so they can play, and we don't need to think about buying new players in these areas. So, end of the day, we know we need a midfielder.
Yeah.
We know a few players have already gone on loan. Martial, of all people, have just come back looking okay. Now he's on loan. Okay, that leaves one more spot. That's fine. And they paid for his wages and probably paid a fee as well, giving a bit more money freed up. So Rangnick probably got a little bit of room to play with, but he probably needs to sell a few more to have proper room to play with. So I guess at the end of the season, we're going to go for it anyway. We're going to go and buy these players in these positions anyway. But when it comes to right now, I think seriously, it's one of those things, in it. We're probably chatting. And like I said, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see, really, if he's really backed. He'll be backed. We'll get players, that's for sure. It's just when.
So part of that backing could be what we spoke about last week when we spoke about him saying that Shaw, Maguire and Aaron Wan-Bissaka need to be maybe upgraded. So it's not necessarily always going to be who's going to be coming in. He's got to start working out who's going to be leaving first.
Exactly.
Garth, what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, that last point is exactly what I was thinking. Is he being backed at the moment to get rid of players, to cut down, like Nathan was saying, cut down on this wage bill? I've heard rumours, and of course they're only rumours, that the board are a little bit dubious about spending big money right now, not knowing who the manager's going to be in 4 months' time. And I can understand that. That seems fair enough. But he has been brought in to make these decisions. So, yeah, look, we don't know, obviously. I haven't seen us really in discussion with anyone apart from Kamara all of a sudden. So that would be him being backed, because that was his number one priority when he came in, clearly. Like, for Man United fans anyway, he was to sort out a defensive midfielder. So we'll see. But yeah, like, we can't say yet. We've got to wait at least until the end of the transfer window to see what comes in, what goes out. And like Nathan was saying, our wage bill is ridiculous at the moment. So you can see why the board is a little bit, if they are a little bit not up for it right now,
cautious.
Not knowing who's going to be cautious. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, a little bit cautious to splash big money, which is probably why we're looking at these lesser known players at the moment. You know what I mean? So,
Nathan, do you feel like Man United should have an idea of who their next candidate of manager is going to be? They should have that sort of ready and start preparing for that, because the end of the season will come in no time, and that manager, he needs to be prepared for what he thinks he needs and sorting out, like, going forward, what Man United need.
Definitely, that's definitely happening now. I'm sure Rangnick is the one who's involved with that. So whether it's him or whether it's someone else, he's going to have to put himself as one of the candidates, but also build a list of other candidates who are actually working in a similar fashion. Because you want them to, like you say, play the same way. You don't want to work on it from now to the end of the season and then get a new guy who's going to work a totally different way. So the people that has been touted around, is the Pochettinos, the Ten Hag. They're the two that you're probably thinking, you know what, it's more likely going to be one of those two, depending on what happens at their clubs as well. You can see Ten Hag probably being a longer stay, and people thinking, because he's got his wins and it's because he's done well in the Champions League, he might be a better fit. Too many people are saying question marks about Poch. I don't see any question marks on him, to be honest. Even though they got to the Champions League final and didn't win it, that's not enough for me. He's good enough. He can win things. Just because you didn't win that, you can't win things. No, he's done well. He's done well with sorry about shaking my telly, but he's done well with the kind of the Spurs side that he had and the purse that he had. Come on, who can do that? No, great football.
Can you see why anyone's dubious about Poch, Garth?
Not really. Not if you're really analysing him. I can't. Exactly what Nate's saying. Look what he did. Look, you've said it enough times yourself. Look what he's done with that Spurs side. Like you said, with the money he had, you know what I mean, with the chairman he's got, who does not like to go out and splash, you know what I mean? You know, like, he worked wonders with it. Absolute wonders with that team. Champions League final. We talk about Spurs, you know what I mean? What was their last final before that? The League Cup in 2000 and when Man United beat them? Was that the last one?
One day Ramos was the manager. I think it was. One day Ramos won him the League Cup.
Yeah, League Cup, yeah. So, like, that's the last trophy there. Do you know what I mean? He's working with big names now. 'Cause that was the other thing. Can he manage big names? He's got 3 of the biggest stars in world football under him at the moment. So, of course he can. Of course he can. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I don't see any reasonable reason why you'd be upset with Poch coming in, apart from he ain't your favourite. You wanted Ten Hag. That's the only reason, you know what I mean, in my mind. So,
yeah, definitely. I think in his time at Tottenham, I'm trying to look for how much he actually spent, but it couldn't have been much. It felt like he was always on scraps. It felt like he was always having to do deals where they're not necessarily. We're not looking for big names, but they weren't. The players that the Tottenham were bringing in were like your 10 millions, your 15 millions, your 20 millions, whereas everyone else is spending a lot more, and they were still keeping up. They were paying. They were pushing teams for the title and consistent Champions League participants as well. So it does seem odd. Do you think people are questioning his time while he's at PSG? I know he didn't win the league last year. Messi's not hitting the ground running. I think he's only got 2 goals and a few assists. Do you think people are looking at that as well, Nathan, and thinking, if you can't get anything out of Messi, are you going to get anything out of our players?
Yeah, it's true, but look, they're going to win the league surely.
They're 11 points ahead.
Yeah, so it looks like they've got that wrapped up. So he's going to win the league, and he can't say nothing. You can't say he's not won anything. Then he wins the league and say, but that's whatever. It's the same with anyone, then, isn't it? Messi's coming to the end of his career, and he's going to a new club completely, and it's just not working out for him at the minute. At the end of the day, he's just not lost everything. I guess he's just not had the best season. It's weird, but it's more to do with him getting older and not being as sharp for me than being the manager. And how do you put together Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe, and it doesn't work? With them guys, you're supposed to just say, listen, you lot go on the pitch. See you later. After the game, let's see how many you got. Don't need to really say much to them guys. They've played forever. How many years? Neymar and Messi in particular, they played together as one of the best trios in the last, decade. So for Mbappe to be part of that, which is, I'm sure that makes them even better. And, and it's like, I don't know. We don't know why he's not doing well. But it's not the manager, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Bit harsh to blame him, Garth.
But the manager for Messi? Yeah, 100%, mate. Yeah. Messi also, he isn't like Ronaldo. Ronaldo became a striker, and that was it. And that's why the longevity's there. Messi's game's always been ball at feet, dribbling through people. He can still do it here and there, but like Nathan's saying, the legs go, man. The legs go. Yeah. You like, and also you've got Neymar and Mbappe doing the same thing. So you're not the star man of every minute of it. Like, not everything's going through you as well anymore. You know what I mean? Especially like the last days of Barcelona when no one else was there. Like, then you can't blame Pochettino for Messi at the moment. Also, did Pochettino want Messi as well? Because it felt like that transfer got forced through for Paris Saint-Germain. You know what I mean? So, of course, you want Messi.
It was always going to get forced through because Paris Saint-Germain, it's a bit like Man City. When you're hearing Pep Guardiola say, I don't really, do I need Messi? Well, it's not up to you, mate. Like, this is when you're talking about owners, and this is their sort of flex. They've got Messi. Like, it's not about whether the manager wants him. You're going to make it work. It's completely different when you're dealing with those sorts of money. One player that has been linked recently, and I know you did a little bit of a reading up on him, Garth. Boubacar Kamara, defensive midfielder, playing for Marseille. Free transfer at the end of the season, but it's touted that Man United are going to spend between 10 to 15 million on him. What would he bring for Man United?
Initially, what I'd hope he'd bring is the ability to free up our other centre midfielder to become more expensive, because he's an excellent defensive midfielder by the looks of things, Kamara. I mean, straight away, for that price as well, it just makes perfect sense, because like you're saying, his contract's up. You slap a 5-year contract on him, you're tripling his value immediately before he's even kicked a ball as well. So he's very good even his short and medium range passing. His short passing and his medium range passing are both in the mid 90 percentiles, 95 and 93%. He drops deep like a Matic, almost. He isn't the same sort of player as Matic. He drops deep and picks up the ball from the goalkeeper or the centre backs, turns and plays a simple ball out. to a more expensive player who can then make them progressive charges, then progressive passes forward. He's calm on the ball, very calm on the ball from what I've seen as well. Like, it doesn't look like he's the strongest boy on the field, but he's certainly got some strength behind him, to be fair. Like, he really has. I can't see many downsides to giving him a chance, you know? I really can't. A lot of people are interested in him. The only thing is, he's not a player that's going to make the progressive passes, the key passes. I mean, you look at his total career goals and assists, it's like 4 and 5 from 140 games. He's not going to be turning up on the edge of the box to smash one home. He's not one of those midfielders. He's initially a centre back, and he's a like, the only reason he doesn't play centre back is because his technical ability is so good that it's a waste of him at centre back almost when you've got better players to play there. Defensive utility player as well. Like, I'm not going to say Phil Neville, but he could almost do like the Phil Neville role, like left back, right back, centre back, if you really need him to. Defensive midfielder, centre midfielder. Yeah, I don't see any real issues with him, as at 22 years old, the things that are wrong with him, which he can get caught out of position here and there sometimes, you can train that out of a 22-year-old, mate. You know what I mean? And like you said before, the French league and the English league, there's many success stories from France to England. It isn't a massive culture shock from Ligue 1 to the Premier League. I see no downside on him, really. I really don't. Like I say, what I'd really hope from him is the ability to free up the other centre midfielder, be it Fred or McTominay or Pogba.
Or in a dream world for Nathan, Donny van der Beek. Is this, although even though he's going to Crystal Palace.
I was going to say, yeah, he's not going to Palace, mate. So.
Is he really going? Is he gone, though?
He's not yet, but
apparently Bergkamp's had a word with Vieira to make that deal happen. Yeah, because it's his son-in-law, isn't it?
Okay, well, I hope it happens, because it's just not fair. You can't say I'm holding you. Nah, I don't want you going anywhere, and then you're not playing. It doesn't make sense. It just really doesn't make sense. Let him go. Let him go and play. If you're not going to play him, let him go and play so I can watch him somewhere else. I'll go and watch Crystal Palace. I don't mind. Yeah.
So, Nathan, Kamara, is this sort of DM one of the midfielders that you need? Because we've seen McTominay try and play a defensive midfield role. It's not quite there. We've seen Fred play it. I mean, he works hard, but he's not disciplined enough. Is it an out-and-out defensive midfielder, specialist position that you need for certain games?
Yeah, we definitely need someone that can sweep up and keep the ball after they're swept up. You know, that's all it is. It's one of them does one thing, the other one does the other. You need one player to do both them jobs. You know, Declan Rice is the prime guy, but he's going to be probably far too much money. He breaks everything up, plays balls through. He does everything, keeps the ball and just keeps it ticking. And it's simple. No one's even watching him for him breaking and passing it nice and just standing there going, yeah, I've done my job. Right, what's next? Let me just marshal this area. That's what you want. And if Kamara is like that, if FIFA's anything to go by, this guy's stats are ridiculous. You already
onto a thing. You already.
What's his rating? What's his rating, Nathan?
Did you see that earlier on? He's like, yeah, no, I don't even pay attention to these things. You know what I mean? I don't pay attention to these rumours. Those rumours. You already got him on. You got him on FIFA.
He's already signed him. He's already signed him.
My son's playing career mode, and he wants me to play him. So when he plays career mode, I play him. He's Fulham. He got promoted to the Prem, and like he says, look, whenever I'm playing against Man United, City, Chelsea, Liverpool, I'll play as them. But then he was picking
players that are just rumoured to you, like Haaland was.
That's what he was saying. Yeah, but he was like, "Who should I buy? Who should I buy, Dad?" I was like, "Well, let's try Kamara. That's who we're looking. We're linked with." And he's like, "Whoa, that's a wicked. Let's buy him." So
did it work? Did it work? Did he sit in there nicely?
Hey, he's strong, but he played for Fulham, obviously. But my point is, he is a strong. His stats were ridiculous. So when your stats are ridiculous, that means that FIFA, you don't get good stats for nothing on FIFA. You know, they don't give you good stats. If you're unknown, you're getting bad stats. Yeah. So for him to have good stats, it means he's doing well. He's doing very well. So yeah, he's a good defender, defensive midfielder.
On another note, are Man United missing that utility player? I mean, the days of Neville, O'Shea, even going in goal. Like, who's Man United's utility player apart from Phil Jones?
Yeah, it was Rojo for a bit, innit? He went left
Mm.
back, left centre mid, and then no centre back. Then you had a Blind before when he was left back. He was centre back. He could play centre defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know. I don't know. There's no one that can do a job in every position. The only person that's been moved around everywhere is Pogba, isn't it? And then he's not nailed down a position, so it's a hard one. We ain't got a utility player like that anymore at the moment.
Missing that sort of player, Garth, that you can essentially bring into a squad, and you've not got to worry about the game time because there's going to be players injured. There's going to be games where he's going to need it in the central midfield, or a left back needs a rest, and the other one's out injured or suspended. So you've got to pray him. Is this the kind of sign that would be beneficial for the squad?
Yeah. Yeah, all day. I think our last one was probably Timothy Fusu-Mensah, weren't it? He could play across the back line, defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
And I always thought he was going to be really good. All day. Like people turn their nose up at the term utility player a lot of the time. But if you're not getting week in, week out football in a specialist position, why wouldn't you try and be? That's what Phil Neville did, wasn't it? That's exactly what Phil Neville did. He wasn't getting game time as a fullback, so he transitioned himself into a defensive midfielder and got another 6-year career out of that Everton, doing that for Everton. You know what I mean? No, all day. I like a utility player, mate, especially one that you can just be like, I trust you to like you're saying, like John O'Shea. I can throw you in wherever I want, and I trust you to do 6.5, 7 out of 10 in this game. So yeah, no, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't want someone like that in your squad.
Seem like
more.
Go on.
Youngie, he played left back, right back, left wing.
He did.
Yeah,
but every player
Valencia.
you seem to be mentioning, Valencia, every player you've mentioned there have been vital for Man United in those championship winning teams. Like they have been. Like Valencia, when he changed from a winger to a right back, it was like a game changer. Phil Neville in the game, like he's a thorn in Arsenal's side. It was like when he was playing Arsenal, drag out Phil Neville, stick him in midfield, and just kick everyone, break up their play. You win the game, like every time. Every time.
It was the case.
Still hurts. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to ask you, Nathan. Seeing as you are a coach as well yourself, what's the difference between a head coach and a manager for those that might not know when you're talking about maybe a Poch and a Rangnick?
You've got the manager who doesn't usually take the training. So you've got Solskjaer. Solskjaer, he's a manager. So he's a man manager. Never went out, never trained with the. You never heard him really being out there coaching the side. Into exactly his implementation of how he wants the game to be played. And Nigel Clough, I had him as well. He was never really out on the training pitch because we just.
Was that a Derby?
So when he came there, he had his coaches coaching us. We were doing 5-a-sides and stuff for quite a bit. But he was never out on the training field really. So that's a manager. Then you've got a coach who wants to be on the field and implement his way of playing. So Paul Jewell, Malcolm Mackay, Ian Holloway, they're coaches. They coach you on how to play. They stop the game and they tell you, be here, do this, do that. I want you doing this because this. You've got these options on the pitch. These are your options. And then play from there. That's the kind of thing that you want. Someone to implement their style of play. Louis van Gaal, he's a coach. He coached the team. He said, listen, expansive. I want you playing like this. You go here and you're not playing. You stay there. Don't go anywhere. They tell you what to do and where to be and exactly how they want you playing. Other people, like I said, they leave it to other people to do that.
And as a player yourself, what did it really matter to you? What did you get spark off?
Look, when you know what you're doing inside a framework, that was the best that I ever had. At Wigan, we had a good team, great team, very good team. But the great thing is on a Friday, we do unopposed football. We get the ball. He's on the halfway line with loads of balls. We're all shaped in a 4-4-2 on the whole pitch, no one against us. And you'll kick the ball to the keeper. Keeper will catch it and throw it out to the fullback. And we've got to make certain runs. So I've got to run short or long. My other partner, Jason Roberts, got to come short or long, depending on if I've gone short, he's going long. You got the midfielder who's got to make an option. So what happened is he went to the left back. he runs forward, comes back. I even remember now. He comes back, turns back, plays it to the defender, who plays it out to the other side, and then you've got options. So your winger's got to do something, and depending on what the winger's doing, the other midfielder's got to do something. So you've got two options. If he does that, you do that. If he does that, you do that. And if you provide a short option, you'll provide a long option. So every single player needs to have three options: that long ball there, or that short ball here, or the ball out at the end. So you've got it in your mind. As soon as you pick it up, then players are already making runs. And when you're already making runs, what happens? Players get moved around. Options happen. Once you play it in, you've got to make your run after. So you know exactly what. Then you can do your own skills and bits and pieces. Foot over the ball. Ball between the legs. All that stuff happens in the final third. But as long as you're in a structure and you're going forward, that is the best for me, because you don't get this Man United football where people are standing there going, looking and going, go over there, come here, go there. Why is nobody moving? Everyone's looking, why is nobody moving? Like, what's that? How can you be playing at the top level and no one's moving? Everyone's standing still like flipping penguins that are stuck down by a nail in their foot. It's stupid. It's dumb. It doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, that's a little bit of explanation. Hopefully that makes sense and can
that did
give
make
you
sense.
imagination.
No, honestly,
no.
I'm sure. I didn't know to the extent the difference, which is educated me, because I didn't realise that managers would be so far removed from the training. Yes, they're going to have an impact. They're going to be picking the coaches, but I didn't realise it was a case of your manager's probably going to stand back, whereas your head coach is on the pitch, in the boots, getting involved like that. So, definitely interesting. One transfer that's definitely gone through is Anthony Martial. He's gone on loan to Seville. Mixed responses from the Man United fan base. First of all, Nathan, what's your thoughts on the loan deal? Good deal for Man United. Good deal for Martial. Good deal for both.
Look, if I'm looking at it without being emotional, it's a good deal for both at this moment in time. But to be honest, I feel like we still need that option, mate. I feel like the way we're playing now, if he gets involved when we're trying to start playing some intensive, fast football, he might be able to be one of them players who can play up there. Like Cavani and Ronaldo up front. It's like, okay, they're good, but they're old. You can't play them every week and every game. Who else is going to play up front if he's not playing? Like, there's only Greenwood left. And obviously, for some reason, they got this kind of headache with Greenwood being greedy and all that nonsense. I hate that. But anyway, when it comes to Martial, I saw something in that last performance when he came on for 5-10 minutes. I saw that he wanted to do something. He had a chip on his shoulder to prove to people he's on it. And I know it's been a long time since he's really looked like that. But like I said, it's a change of manager, change of tactics. It might have been something that helps him. But again, he goes on loan and does well. He can come back and kill it anyway. And that's what we need. We need him to play regularly anyway. So go out there, play regularly, come back at the end of the season, tell me you've scored 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 goals. Great. You can come back and play. If you've not played and you're not scoring, get out. Simple. You got to move on. If you've not done well away at Sevilla, see you later. Like, that's it. I like you. I really do think that you can do well. But sometimes it's time to move on. And if he hasn't done it on loan, that's his chance. His chance is gone if he doesn't do it. Simple as that.
It sounds like Nathan was breaking up with someone there. So,
it's not me, it's you.
Yeah. Garth, what's your thoughts on it? I know you're a Martial fan. Do you think Man United could have shown him a bit more love, getting some more out of him?
Yeah, that's the narrative in it, that he was always second choice to Man United. Like, we bought Zlatan Ibrahimovic, we bought Cavani, we bought Ronaldo. But no, look, I think when your relationship with the manager is at this low point, you've got to move on and try something else. Exactly what Nathan's saying. Hopefully, he absolutely tears La Liga apart. Tears it apart, because Sevilla are a swashbuckling side at the moment as well. They're doing real good. They're pulling up trees in La Liga, ain't they? Like, they're doing all right. So, yeah, look, I love Martial. I always thought he was going to be a like when people were taking the mick about the 55 mil transfer fee because it's got like Ballon d'Or winner clause in it and World Cup, like I was like, mate, he really could, and he still could. He's only 26, man.
But you got to remember, if he wins the World Cup, if he is a Ballon d'Or winner,
Yeah, exactly.
that benefits
Yeah.
you. Like you don't
Exactly,
get a Ballon d'Or winner from sitting on the backside on the bench, do you?
Yeah. So hopefully, like exactly what Nathan's saying, he goes out to the Liga, slams in 10, 8, like as many goals as he can. Looks like he's enjoying this because he hasn't looked like he's enjoyed football for a long time either. You know, what I mean, like I know we can't tell on body language, but it must be disheartening to see player after player come in almost like you're not trusted to be the main striker. But then again, the flip of that is pull your socks up and become the main striker. You know what I mean? So it's difficult. I hope he does really well and he comes back and reclaims his spot. Like you're saying, Cavani ain't going to be there next year. Ronaldo's going to be 37 and we've only got Greenwood. So that saves us having to buy another striker. You know what I mean? That saves us having to spend 60 to 100 mil in the market because you've got an all guns firing Martial back in the side. Whether he will be happy to come back or not is a different matter. You just don't know how sour that relationship is between us and him now. After Rangnick saying he refused to play and then him coming out and biting back, you know, I mean, obviously he asked
on the bench the following week. Yeah,
because I mean I always thought that was a bit of a PR thing, you know, and then he come on and showed what he can do. I mean, like, so look, let's hope it's not the end for him at Man United. But if it is, there were some good times. You know what I mean? His debut goal, was it Liverpool? His debut? It was him, wasn't it? Liverpool cuts inside, lovely goal. So, like Nathan's saying, sometimes you've got to move on to find your best form again.
Yeah, Nathan, was he getting opportunities up top?
I think he was, but it was at a time when we wasn't even doing anything. Like we were playing we was not creating chances for anyone, and we still haven't been really now. So when he was playing and he was scoring goals off his own back, really, and he was scoring with the least chances ever. So for me, if he give any of our strikers like any sort of service, they're gonna get you 20 plus goals a season. But we've just not been able to provide service because we can't provide the people that provide the service. So now you can't do nothing. Because that's what I'm saying. If the ball don't get to the people that provide the service quickly, they have to pass it back. And then they can't pass the ball. So then we lose it and then we let a goal in. So we're forever playing this kind of football where we're missing the links. The link from defense to midfield and the link from midfield to attack. We don't and then the link from fullbacks. Everything that you need to score goals with, we don't have it. We got everything else. We got the ammunition. We got like super defender in Varane and that. We got super defending in Wan-Bissaka. But really, what do you need? You need fullbacks. You need someone who can link the play, someone who can smash up the play and keep it, someone who can provide balls in. We don't have none of that with quality. We don't. We can't. We're missing too many key cogs to this thing. And hopefully Rangnick can see and say, listen, he's seeing now, isn't it? He's got so close now, he says, but we still need to sort out that midfield. He's still saying, we're looking better. We control the game a lot more, but we're still missing that something. That something is sitting on your bench, you fool. Anyway.
In all fairness, that Kamara can definitely be the link between defence and midfield. 100%. From what I've seen of him, from what I've read about him, he can really, like, his short pass game is phenomenal. Like his overall pass game is 90% last season, so he really can. Yeah, he really could be that link. So, yeah,
sounds good.
All right. This is where I kind of stitch you up, but it's fun. It's fun.
Not fun. It's not fun.
All right, Nathan. You can pick 3 players, any 3 players to join Man United that would help complete their squad. Who are these 3 players that Man United need to, well, I say complete their squad, but I'm thinking of the Man United team right now. It's a bit all over the place. So it may not complete it, but it may have them moving up the table, challenging for the title. What 3 players? I'll ask you the same question as well, Garth.
Rice for sure. Rice.
Who you're linked with? Another link came up the other day that you're going to go big for Rice. So maybe, but are you willing to pay that 80 to 100 million price?
Yeah.
So, look. If we can sell Lingard and we're going to get anything for Pogba, even sell him now, like just get anything, we'll have a bit of money spare anyway that we can just add to that to make the payment or even swap with Lingard and a bit of money, whatever. Listen, we'll give you Lingard now. Take him right now. Don't pay nothing, but just give us Rice for this much, you know, whatever. If we can do that, that's great. Rice will be in there, massive, massive difference for us. And then I would love to see a Bellingham. I would, but I'm not sure he'll be in there.
Gone for two midfielders.
The reason why is because if Van der Beek's going to go, we need someone who's going to be similar. Rice can do. I want him to do that Matic job, but then I want a midfielder. If Pogba's going to stay, then Pogba can do that job. It's fine, not a problem. Then I'd want to see Haaland for sure. Haaland up there at the top, 100%. Rice, Haaland, them two. My main two. Garth, you go for it. I'm going to wait for that next one. I got to think about it.
I love the way he threw three in there.
Like, yeah, he's going to fourth though.
Nathan's building a sly team. Just to let you know, I would pick him if I was allowed an extra one, but I'm not. So I'm going to just leave him there for you to think that I have two midfielders and Haaland getting greedy. All right, Garth, who are you picking? Are you picking Declan Busquets in central midfield?
All day, yeah. Like, if we're doing Dreamland and we're talking about any player we want, obviously it's Haaland and Rice, but I'll go a little different. But Rice all day. And you asked,
I think Rice is achievable. Haaland, I don't know, so many teams in for Haaland, and we're talking about he gets the pick of the bunch. Now, is he going to pick Man United, who are going through a little bit of a transition at the moment, starting to get there, but a transition? Or is he going to go for something that's potentially tried and tested? You're going in there, you're winning championships without a doubt.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't think we will get Haaland. But Declan Rice, you just said, can you get him for 100 mil? Yeah, we spent 80 mil on Harry Maguire. So all day we can afford, we're Man United. We're still, I think, the third biggest club in terms of value and money in the world. Like, yeah, no, of course we can afford him. And Declan Rice for me now, that's the player we need, 100%. I want him. I would go, if we're not talking Haaland, the striker I said last time, Andre Silva, a cheaper option. I'd like to see him at Man United. But the one I'm really thinking of is the fullback at Bayern Munich, Alphonso Davies. I know we're in Dreamland again here.
What a player, but you can't get him.
We said any free players. The question is any free players.
Out here picking Haaland and Alphonso Davies. No, you don't have to
you might as well go for everyone.
All right, you can have a dream one. Yeah, right. Say your dream ones if you want. If you want to throw it in there. But like,
that is a dream, yeah. That's a dream, mate, yeah.
You're not getting Haaland. You said Haaland.
We're not getting Alphonso Davies, but at least we're linked with Haaland. Flipping heck.
All right. You've been completely shut down.
I'll tell you who I'd get.
All right. Think Rice. Of the other realistic ones apart from Rice. So far you've got Rice.
I'll get Rice and Lamptey for now.
Oh, you're going for that fullback.
Lamptey, that's a great shout. Yeah, that's a great shout.
And Rice, and then I got to think of a third one, and that would probably have to be a forward because Cristiano's not getting any younger. Cavani is definitely not getting any younger, and then Martial's gone. So we got Greenwood on his own and no other forward. So it would be trying to go for Haaland only. There's no other. You know what? I don't. You know what? That's it, mate. I can't think of any other striker that Man United need to get. That will absolutely blitz it.
It's got to be Haaland for you.
Haaland's the number one slot, man. There's no one else really that I can say that stands up to Haaland. Like no one. I'd love to see Chiesa come, but is he going to come? I don't know. I wouldn't have thought so.
Right. So Nathan, you've gone for Declan Rice, Lamptey, and
Haaland.
Erling Haaland. All right. Not bad choices. Garth, who you gone for?
Yeah, well, if I can't have Davies, obviously I'm overruled. No, we need a fullback. We do need a fullback. And I'm just thinking, I'm struggling off the top of my head. There's the Inter Milan fella, Dumfries. I know he's not superb, but that's that's a great, like, we could have Lamptey again. I have to agree, Lamptey, I really like. Look at Rice for me, though, is number one now. Like, I think Rice really changes our dynamic as a team. Like, it's almost the one player that can complete Man United. Andre Silva, because I really like Andre Silva. I really do, the Portuguese striker, if we're not getting Haaland.
He's a good player, to be fair.
Yeah, and then a fullback. And, yeah, Lamptey's a great shout. Dumfries.
What is it you need the right back or the left back is more priority?
I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, they're both the same, innit? It's like they're both similar types of abilities, to be fair. So left or right back, but you have to be better than what we got. And I don't know too many that you can just go in. I do like I said, I do like the Norwich fullback as well. But I'm not sure if he'll Max Aarons.
Oh, Max Aarons, yeah.
I do like him. Just a young player who's got ability to get forward as well, and he's a nice type of player, like a Raphael kind of. He reminds me like of a Raphael, just full of energy.
Do you know what? I was checking out Raphael and Fabio the other day, weirdly, you say that.
Yeah.
31 still. 31. I couldn't believe it.
Bring him back.
31. Wow.
Who's the Italian wing back for Roma? Is Spinazzola?
Spinazzola, yeah.
Spinazzola. Yeah.
Is he the one who got injured?
Yeah, in the World Cup.
Did he? Right.
He's really quick, yeah. Really quick.
No, there's a lot out there. Garth, you didn't give me a third one, or did you go for Lamperty?
No, I'll go Spinazzola. I liked him in the Euros. And like I say, it really doesn't matter, left back or right back. We need one of them to be better than what we've got at the moment. And that's what I'm like. But honestly, Rice changes our team so completely. I wasn't that on board with Rice only a few months ago. I was like, it's a bit too much money. I've watched him a lot now.
I think everyone seems to be saying the same thing. It's like, what happened to Declan Rice? Like, Declan Rice for me, like beforehand, was just like a midfielder. He could play centre back. He's just a midfielder. He's all right. He's good, but he's a midfielder. He's a good midfielder. All of a sudden, he's doing the little turns. He's moppy hairs now.
Hey.
You know what I mean? He's giving it the little diag balls. 1, 2. I'm like, who's this guy? Who is this guy?
One thing you need to go online and do, go on YouTube and go and look at, the FT freestylers.
Yeah.
Him with the FT freestylers. And you tell me if he's not techie.
He's techie.
Guy. The guy can tech up the place. Unbelievable. Go and look at that on YouTube, and then you'll be like, okay, that's why he can do all these bits. He can do it, but he obviously doesn't need to do it in the game. He just does what he has to do.
He has. He's got that ability.
He's a baller,
I saw something else. I can't remember what it was. I saw. I think West Ham were playing against a lower league team, and they asked one of the players who's the hardest player to play against. They said Declan Rice. Everything he did just landed. The ball come on the volley, across the pitch, diag across the pitch on the volley. It's like, and they didn't realise he had that in his locker. They just said he was just quality. So
young as well.
The rise of Declan Rice has been good. I think that there's a deal to be made. He's not signed an extension on his contract. He's still on the same contract that he signed when he was like 18. So yeah. There's definitely a deal to be made, and definitely opportunity in the summer. All right. Before we go, let's have a look at who Man United have got coming up. They have got Middlesbrough in the Cup on next Friday. Garth, opportunity to try and win some silverware this season. Take it seriously.
I hope so, mate. I hope so. It's also an opportunity, obviously, no disrespect to Middlesbrough, because it's the FA Cup, but see a couple more of the youngsters come through if we're 2-0 up at half time and things like that. But he's got to take it seriously, because obviously we ain't winning the league, obviously, with Man City just running away with it. And Champions League, always a chance, obviously, but we're not good enough, really, unless we get lucky to get through. So FA Cup is definitely our best chance of some silverware this season. So I hope we do well in it.
Yeah. And Nathan, now in full spot with a run after this of Burnley, Brighton, Southampton, Leeds, and then Watford, a real opportunity to start getting some points on the board and put some pressure on the other teams around you.
Definitely. We've obviously picked up our performances of late. That's the most important thing. And then now, basically, we just need to kick on. We've got a bit of time to train as well when the boys get back from their holidays and stuff. Mm-hmm. Let's see how more we can go forward now with this. How more, he can implement his style of play and everything. It seems like we're going to only get better and better from here. But again, I still think we need a few more changes in the side. And if we get all these players going out on loan, I don't know how we're going to do that. We're just going to have to, trounce along for the rest of the season and try and scrape it into fourth.
Yeah, I mean, you've got plenty of youngsters in there that could probably do the job as well. Don't forget Hannibal and players like that as well. So there's definitely options there, and Ralf Rangnick is a fan of the youth. All right, that is all we have time for. Thank you very much for joining us today, Garth.
Thanks for having me as always. Pleasure.
And thank you very much for joining us today, Nathan.
Thank you.
As I always say, if you're watching on Twitter, come over to KS1 TV, smash that like, smash that subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, change the settings so we can see who you are. You join the chat and smash the subscribe button. And if you are watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe, hit that like and share button. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate your support, people. Peace out. Stay safe and wash your hands.